Hi there, everybody. It is J Pool from J Pool's GNERD Corner, and I'm here with Greg Fennell of Monkey Paw Entertainment. Hello, Greg.
How you doing this morning?
Fine. So this is the last day of Saboten Con 2019. For people who've never been here, can you tell them a little bit about Saboten?
We are an anime Japanese pop culture convention. Been around since 2008. Grown immensely since our 1,000 attendee convention back in 2008. The whole goal is to bring the community together, give everybody a place to come to and enjoy themselves for 4 days, and kind of be the norm. Some place where we're not the outcasts and we're not the ones that are treated different. We actually get to be around like-minded individuals.
Fantastic. Yeah, I've enjoyed the years I've been here. I think my first year was probably like 2000. It's like maybe 2011.
Okay.
I think first time.
That would have been at the Squaw Peak, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
And then moved over to the Renaissance at Westgate.
Yep.
And now.
And we outgrew that one, so we had to come here. So. Yep.
Exactly.
Every move we did was a little bit of growth along the way, from the first year the whole way through. Every time we kind of pushed the boundaries of the locations, we had to move to a new location. So.
Oh, definitely. Are there any lessons you've learned along the way that have become very valuable for your experience in the convention community?
Yeah, well, a lot. I mean, I think we learn something every year. My team, and one of the things I ask everybody when they come in here is when you walk through the convention, and my directors is, see what things need to be changed. We should be making changes on a yearly basis to make things better. There's always something we can do better. Even if there's something you think you do great, you probably could sit down and find 2 or 3 things that you can make things a little better for next year. So between the feedback from attendees and guests and just everybody, our whole goal is do bigger and better every year so that we can bring a better event to the community.
Fantastic. Now, so I've made a lot of friends with all the staff throughout the years.
Right.
What's your process of actually, hiring the staff? I mean, do they have positions already before that at other conventions, or are they like trained on the spot?
No, they're trained or before the convention. The only ones that really come in here kind of not trained are the low-level door checkers and stuff like that, where they only need about a half an hour to an hour worth of training for checking for badges, things like that. I would probably say of staff, 95% of our staff has been with us for at least the past 5 years, and most of them work probably 1 or 2 of our other events. Event support-wise, it's kind of a little bit of a rotating door, and the thing that's really, I think, great that we offer is you could come and just work 4 hours a day for each day of the convention, and you go to the convention completely at no cost to you, because that way you're getting a badge as an event support. So that rotating door has helped a lot of younger people that are trying to either get through high school or college, not have to worry about spending so much, come in, help watch a door for 4 hours every day, or do something in the event support level, and you get a badge for the day. And if you do 4 hours each day, you get a badge for each day, so you basically get to come to the convention at no cost for you. So I think, and the other thing that we really kind of strive ourselves on is that for staff, and even event support, we ask people when they come in, not only, hey, what do you want to do, but what are you going to school for? What are the things that you want to do when you grow up, and when you finally get into the career you want to be, and how can we help you find spots in our event to help you get some knowledge behind you and something that you can put on their resume. I've had more staff and even senior event support thank us over the years for either getting a promotion, getting their first job out of college, or getting a new job because of the resume that they've been able to build just coming here and doing something that they do in their real life through the day as well.
Fantastic. Now, what are your your aspirations and what you're looking forward to for later on with the future of Saboten? I mean, do you want it to keep growing and maybe even move around the area around Phoenix, in the sense of like I remember you talking about you want to spread out like gaming lounge and everything.
Right. Well, and so I mean, every year it's about growing and kind of seeing what we can do different. And this year we grew the vendor hall. We moved the main guest panel down here to where gaming used to be, which means now we had to move gaming into where we had the front of main events last year, and we had to move main events over one, which grew it a little bit. So it's a process of never being complacent. I think that's one thing that I challenge my team and my staff kind of has it ingrained is never do the same thing. It's what can we do different, what are the things we can do better. And just like you said with growth, we'll never go to the convention center. It's just not conducive to kind of how we run conventions and how I want an anime convention to feel for our attendees. But we are planning, if not next year, we've already started conversations with the Renaissance, and we're going to start conversations with the client as overflow hotels because we really needed it this year. Unfortunately, we just too late in the game to really get anything kind of solidified. But we already have the relationship started with the Renaissance. We probably will be doing something there next year with either the overflow, but that'll probably be where we might look at moving our gaming as well, so we can spin up our own gaming arenas over there. So, because our 5-year goal 4 years ago, actually 5 years ago, was to finally get to the point where we had enough capacity for hotel rooms here for sales that we can get an overflow hotel, so that way we can start to spin up our gaming in its own building. So then we can offer a lower badge for gaming for the weekend if you just want to come for gaming and you don't have to pay the higher full price for the anime convention.
That would be awesome. That would be awesome if people just wanting to come for gaming.
Right.
So before I finish this interview, do you have anything else to say, including a question that I get asked sometimes about Saboten Con compared to like something like Phoenix Fan Fusion? Is security here, and the way it's worked differently than it is at the convention center. I see that you allow more props and weapons than, of course, Phoenix does currently because of a certain little incident in 2017.
Right.
But you still allow it, and so it's kind of a surprise for a lot of attendees. I had a friend that this is his first year at Sabo. He's never come here, and it was the first time he got to bring in his Han Solo blaster.
Okay.
To like one of the conventions here.
Right. Well, and again, you've got to understand that Phoenix Fan Fusion, they're because of the convention center, they have to have that extra security. It's the nature of the beast, and you get conventions of that size, there are things that unfortunately are going to be impacted, and there's really not much control you have for that. So I think we're in a lucky spot that we have great security here. We have Phoenix PD that's here over the entire weekend that we have that's walking the floor, and we have great bag checks. We've worked really tight with the security, not only in the hotel, but with our security that we pay to come on site, that we try to not ever get to the point where we'd ever bar any kind of cosplay. That within reason. I mean, you're not allowed to have real weapons.
No.
You're not allowed to have, and I mean, we've had people that have tried to bring in like a 22 that the pin's missing and stuff like that. It's like, no, sorry, that's not allowed. But I mean, we do our due diligence downstairs to make sure that we can try to keep making sure that people can bring their props, come have fun, because an anime con is about cosplay as well.
Oh yeah.
Even though we're an anime convention, cosplay is ingrained in that on a daily basis. So it would really impede us if we'd ever have to get to the point where we'd have to do something like that. So we work extra hard on a yearly basis with hotel, with Phoenix PD, with our security that we have here, to make sure we're following all the steps and we make sure that there isn't any question. And if somebody would come up like yourself asking a question, well, what are you doing? Well, here's our entire plan. And security has been so tight with everything that we've just luckily not had any incidents, but I mean, in this day and age.
Well, your staff is right on it when it happens. Okay, so as we finish our interview, do you have anything else to say to the viewers about Saboten Con or any future events that Monkey Paw Entertainment will be putting on?
Well, we have Arizona FurCon, which is coming up at the end of October, and then, of course, we start our 2020 cycle. So we have Kokori at the beginning of March. We have Konnichiwa, which is in June. Sorry.
And you moved.
We moved to the DoubleTree down in the central area of Tucson.
I heard that's a good place.
Yes,
some of my friends have stayed
People
there.
are really excited about that. And then we have Sabaku up in Albuquerque, and then, of course, we have Itty Bitty FurCon, which is in July, and then Saboten next Labor Day weekend.
And I hear you actually have like an annual sort of like a special annual pass. Is that true?
Yeah. So one of the things that we tried to do is I started looking at the sales across all our events. And I found a lot of people were buying 2 badges, going to Saboten and Konnichiwa or Saboten and Kikuri, but they weren't going to a 3rd convention or a 4th convention. And I was like, okay, well, what can we do that we could offer a badge and gain a little bit more of the money for like a 3rd purchase, but not make it to the point where you're actually paying for 3 badges and allow you to attend any of our conventions within a 365-day cycle. So we launched a monkey pass about 2 months ago, right before Konnichiwa, and it really took off, and there was a lot of people who really bought it, and it was great because what we saw was we saw a percentage of the people who do 3 or more conventions get them, which is great for them because now they get to save money.
Yes.
But now also I saw a lot of the people who were buying just the 2 badges now buying earlier, which means they're saving money anyways because a lot of them would actually buy right before the convention, so they were paying a higher price anyways.
Yeah.
So now they're buying for $100 the badge for the entire year. They're getting to be able to go for all the conventions. So it really doesn't help us out in the end. When I say help us out, it really doesn't glean us any more profit, which is great because what it does do though is it brings more people in, which means it helps vendors. It helps the community get more involved, but again, it brings more people in to go into the vendor hall, to go into the main events whenever everything's going on. So it just helps some of the other conventions that are smaller than Saboten to see some growth just naturally because we're offering this badge.
That is awesome. That's fantastic. So you pretty much are sold out, right?
So we sold out the first batch. We were going to open up the next batch on September 15th. So that'll be the Monday 2 weeks from now that we'll open that up, and that'll be the next time we'll open it up, and we'll run that up until 2 weeks before FurCon. Then we'll probably stop it for the year, and then we'll open it up again at the beginning of the year for the next cycle.
That's fantastic. Well, thank you, Greg, for this awesome interview for GNERD Corner. And if you want to check out any more stuff, go to sabotencon.com. And for also programming information for any of these conventions, you can download the app at Con Magic, actually hashtag Con Magic.
There you go.
And then you'll find all the times and all the programming on there. So thank you, Greg, for this interview.
All right. Thank you, sir.